Watch closely this video interview between a hiring manager at Vidoc Security Lab and a job candidate.
Can you take your hand and put it like in front of your face to like cover it partially? No, it's not a joke because I can see that you're using some kind of software.
The applicant was hiding his true identity by using a deepfake AI filter.
Something was really off. I wanted to have a proof that he was a real person or not. And the first thing that came to my mind was, let's put your hand in front of your face, because I knew AI tools that change your face, like Snapchat filters, they won't work when you partially occlude the face. I asked him to do it, and he knew that the filter would break, and he didn't do it. At this point, I was like 100% sure that he was trying to trick me.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
As AI technology rapidly evolves, fake AI-generated job candidate profiles are undermining the hiring process. Research and advisory firm Gartner predicts that by 2028, 1 in 4 job candidates worldwide will be fake.
Deepfake candidates are infiltrating the job market at a crazy, unprecedented rate.
They are real people seeking jobs, but they take on a different persona when they come on screen, and that is enabled by deepfake technology.
It's very, very simple. Right now, to deepfake yourself, all you need is either a static image of you and few seconds of audio.
So we're seeing the rise of fake candidates taking on jobs in organizations in United States, European Union, and UK. These candidates take on roles using deepfake-powered technology and forged identity documents. This is of huge national security concern for us, and we need to take it seriously.
Right now, across multiple job postings, because we are trying to understand the problem more, we're finding that 16.8% of applicants turn out to be fake. What that means is 1 out of every 6 applicants that applies for a job in your company is a fake candidate. They either have a fake resume or a fake LinkedIn profile. The places that they've worked in are fake, or they're applying from North Korea, or they're trying to misrepresent themselves in some sort of way.
Here's how deepfake job seekers are infiltrating the labor market.
The rise of fake job seekers powered by deepfake technology is directly correlated to the rise of remote working, which kicked off during the pandemic. And at that time, we had no option but to work remotely and therefore hire remotely. So on a positive side, it opened up a whole different pool of candidates which was otherwise previously not available to organizations. Now, the negative side of that, then, people could take on a fake persona and take on a job which would otherwise have not been available to them for different reasons, either because they are from sanctioned nations, or because they need sponsorship and visa, or because they were in a different time zone.
Although corporate America is gradually returning to pre-pandemic work policies, remote and hybrid job postings remain well above pre-pandemic levels.
Companies continue to rely on virtual, non-in-person interviews because A, they can interview a lot of people that are not immediately in the same location. It's easier for scheduling a lot of times. And it is probably true that it's lower cost to have somebody talk virtually than to have them come in person.
But the shift to virtual interviews has also opened the door to new risks.
Remote jobs unlocked the possibility of tricking companies into hiring fake candidates.
This is absolutely a pattern that is linked to remote job trends. And the first thing that these candidates ask about is, am I going to be remote? Let's face it, if you're a fraudulent candidate, you can't show up to the office every day.
Approximately 17% of U.S. hiring managers have encountered candidates using deepfake technology during video interviews, according to a survey from software platform Resume Genius. They asked 1,000 hiring managers across the United States.
When you hire a fake worker, they can gain access to the servers that contain sensitive data, and also the person will be able to steal data from the company. So the person will be able to probably talk with other people and try exfiltrating data from them.
Once this individual comes into the organization, they are then quite likely writing malicious code or vulnerable code, which means they are leaving the door open for other types of fraud to happen to this company.
Deepfake scams have already cost companies millions of dollars worldwide, and the threat is only growing. AI-generated fraud, including tactics like deepfakes, could cost the U.S. financial sector up to $40 billion by 2027, up from $12.3 billion in 2023.
a lot of these deepfake candidates are just looking for paychecks. And sometimes they're looking for just 1 or 2 paychecks. And so that's the most simple risk.
And then in other cases, they're remaining on the books, earning money over time, and sending that money back to wherever is the crime syndicate that they're connected to.
Fraudulent job seekers can originate from anywhere. Fake candidates linked to North Korea have drawn significant headlines in recent months. In May 2024, the Justice Department alleged that more than 300 U.S. companies had unknowingly hired imposters with ties to North Korea for remote IT roles, sending at least $6.8 million in earnings to the North Korean regime. The workers allegedly used stolen American identities to apply for remote jobs and employed virtual networks and other techniques to conceal their true locations. In the same year, cybersecurity company KnowBe4 revealed that it also inadvertently hired a North Korean IT worker using a stolen U.S. identity.
He had a really good resume. We also asked him to submit credentials so that we could go through a background verification. The initial phone interviews went really well. We went through a couple of interviews, sent him a laptop, and within 10-15 minutes of him turning on the laptop, IT security reached out to them to find out, hey, what's going on? You're supposed to be a new employee turning on a laptop, and it looks like we're detecting some sort of a password-stealing Trojan trying to be installed. That person made up a bunch of weird excuses that didn't make any sense. And so I think within 31 minutes, we had already locked down that laptop so they couldn't do anything. It was a pretty quick response.
The biggest improvements I worked on was optimizing the transaction.
Voice authentication startup Pindrop Security recently caught a deepfake job candidate they nicknamed Ivan X. It was located in Russia near the North Korean border.
So I've been a full-stack engineer for 11 years.
In the case of Ivan, he was perpetrating to be from US and in one case in Europe. In both of these cases, he was not in US or Ukraine. When we actually tracked where he was from, he was from Karbush region in Russia, which is very close to North Korea, but it's not yet North Korea. We've identified other deepfake candidates from North Korea itself, but Ivan himself was from that Karbush region. He wasn't from the US like he was perpetrating to be.
Pindrop says that of all the candidates it sees, 1 in 343 is linked to North Korea. Among those, 1 in 4 used deepfake technology during a live interview.
So when we hire fake candidates which are from sanctioned nations, it becomes a national security concern, because once these individuals are in an organization, they are taking that salary and funding activities back in those nations, and those activities can be illicit as well. So inadvertently, we are funding illicit activities in sanctioned nations. The second issue is that when they poison the algorithms, when there is an adversarial AI attack within the organization by this fake employee, our algorithms create outputs which are not intended to, and that can be malicious output. They can be racial, they can be segregating and causing a societal divide in our countries, etc. So without realizing, we are becoming a problem for social disruption, which is also a national security concern.
With the number of fake job candidates on the rise, concerns are growing about their impact on remote hiring and corporate recruitment practices.
If this trend continues, and if we will experience more and more fake candidates, every company that is hiring remotely will need to adjust their hiring processes. And probably they will have to switch to the offline interviews as if it was before the COVID. And only after the offline interviews, they will be able to hire the person to work for them remotely. It's expensive, but it works.
We might also see, unfortunately, biases in hiring, because we might, for the worry of hiring a fake candidate, we might actually see a preference for hiring locally and therefore having all the interviews in person.
The whole reason you need to worry about deep fake job seekers is, at the very least, they're making the real employees, potential employees and candidates, not able to get the job, or his job is easy. It can create all kinds of disruption, just making the hiring process longer and more expensive. You know, potentially you could even be applying for a job and someone's not sure whether you're real or not, and you don't even get that call, and you don't know why you didn't get the call. It was all because perhaps they saw something that made them think that maybe you're a deep fake candidate, even when you weren't.
The worry you have, of course, is just the cost. It's, do employers engage in less hiring or just spend a lot more time hiring and therefore able to make less hires? Is it much more frustrating? Or does it cost more time or resources for candidates to prove they're real? And I think that's the biggest worry in some sense, is that it slows things down so much that people that would normally get jobs without this issue end up not getting them, because it throws sand in the gears of the process.